The Larapinta Trail is brutal and beautiful in equal measures. I have not seen anything like it. I hadn't anticipated how hard that was going to be or how beautiful it was. Now, a race like that, you've got to remember, you've got 48 hours of, so you've got 2 sunrises, 2 sunsets in the desert. And then with that, through the day and night, you're climbing up and down waterfalls, you're going across sand patches, creek crossings, there's a bit where you have to swim. I have never, ever in my life been on any trail quite so difficult as the Larapinta Trail.
So how the West Max Monster came about was a few things coming together at once. Myself and a mate, Rowan Rolling, did an unsupported FKT on the Larapinta and talked about everything, including in the last 10 to 15 Ks, as we're kind of almost reflecting on the experience before it had finished. Like, wouldn't other people want to do this? Like, this has sucked, but it's also been the best thing we've ever done. And you know, like, that journey is something that really cemented Rowan and I's friendship. It's something that literally changed the way we saw ourselves and the world. And here was the Larapinta Trail in Central Australia, having trail running happening in different ways, but not in the way that we'd just been able to test ourselves.
All right, you're going to see some super special country this weekend. And I'd like to welcome you to the start of the 2022, I forgot what year it was there, West Max Monster, the Acustica, 231 kilometres on the Monster. It is a very, very special day for everyone here. Take care of the land and it will take care of you. Okay, respect the country that you're on and it will respect you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So for me, a crew really makes a race. I'm a sociable dude. I love the team aspect of an ultra. I think when you look at it from the outside, you see a runner up there out front and on their own. But once you're inside that world, you really do know that it's a team effort. And so to have John, Tom and Rowan not just supporting me, but all three running with me and sort of sharing the trail there, that was really special because it's a long way, it's a few days off work for everyone, people have busy schedules, And for each of those guys to be taking that time and come out and share that with me was just incredible. So I've had a bit of time to reflect on what I could improve on and what I would have done differently. And the answer is I'm not sure there's much that would have driven a huge improvement in performance. Like, I feel like I had a lot of things that came together really well on that race. My nutrition was spot on. I was on sort of 500 to 600 calories an hour for the first 24 hours, and then sort of dropped back a little bit. But I was still smashing those spring gels in the last 5 kilometers of the race. My pacing was good. No, I didn't blow up towards the end and slow down massively more than expected. And you look at those early splits, I wasn't sort of going out too hard. My gear was all good. Everything worked as expected. My crew was good. I didn't get lost. There was a couple of bits where I was finding the route, but there was no major geographical embarrassment. So I kind of look at the whole thing and, like, could I have been a bit faster, a bit better trained? Well, you can always be better trained. But going in with what I had and with the training block I had, I feel like I executed the best race that I could, and I was really happy with the result there.
Yeah! Smashing it, mate, looking good. So about 1k to the aid station. But we're about a k out.
Yeah, I'm just feeling really sorry for you guys. What? Mate, you're not out there yet. Oh. I'm having all the fun. I didn't have my night to get any better, and here you guys are. Wow. Oh, he's got the quarter pounder.
Sit down, take your pack off, sit down and eat this. You want to sit in the seat or are you?
No, I'm good on the bench. Thanks, John. Okay. So I believe in very generic training, and I think that to do any race, the basics have all got to be the same. You've got to get your kilometers out, your long slow distance at a very easy pace, and you've got to get a lot of hard running. That said, I would recommend that anyone attempting this race get some long runs in, lots of night runs, and then find the most mongrel, difficult trails and run up and down them in the day, the night, the heat, the cold, and do so knowing that nothing is going to prepare you for just how hard that Larapinta trail is. Thanks, guys.
Woohoo! See you the next one.
One of the best things about Westmax this year has been having Nick Bamford come along and just bring his own fun and energy, his ability, like seeing someone of like his caliber come and just I suppose test for himself what he's got, but also just put that on display for people like me and everyone else to enjoy has been awesome. This year, like, he literally has become only the 4th person in the world to go sub 48 on the full length of the Larapinta. So yeah, exciting that I suppose he's in that club, but probably even more important than that is he will go down as someone in the history of this event who just quite humbly but also purposefully just brought all of himself, and has been so generous in the way he's done that. The smiles that he shared with aid station crew. He hasn't been able to encourage many people on the trail because he was in front basically more or less the whole way. That's just, it's just at another level. But just super warm, big heart, which is something that just really, I suppose, resonates with the Alice Springs trail running community.
Here he is. You going good? Nice. Or is there water staying?
Yeah.
Do you manage to charge my
Yeah. There was nothing wrong with it actually. As soon as you left, the road got going. So the big pack is fully charged.
Yep.
The small pack, we've got about 2 hours charge into it. Got tailwind.
Won't see any springs for another 65.
14 hours.
Yeah.
How many's left, do you reckon?
Okay.
Roughly.
4.
Battery needs to be on as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it?
It was. And how grueling it was.
So I jumped in on Saturday morning about 2:20 a.m. at Ellery's Creek, and I did a 63-kilometre section through the night into the day. It took 13 and a half hours, and it was brutally tough. There was rivers. We ended up swimming. We were swimming at 7:30 in the morning with all the gear on. Cold creek we had to cross. We were climbing mountains, we were bouldering, but what was nice is that even though it was a really, really tough section, the interaction with the hikers on the trail, they're coming against you, and you're the first runners. They've heard about the runners that are going to be out there because Nick was going so well. We were the first runners that they saw, and we were getting such a great shout out. I'm wondering when it was later in the race and they were sick of seeing runners and they were getting in their way, would it have been the same? But interacting with the hikers along the way was just fantastic. But yeah, it was a tough section. I was glad to hand them over to Rowan at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I got the jump in from Stanley Chasm, 166 kilometres into the run. You know, been crewing all day, having lots of fun, checking the place out, and it is just amazing part of the world in the dead centre of Australia, basically. And the community out there was fantastic. The section that I did, you know, the 40k section, was pretty tough, very rocky, up and down. Got to watch your feet every step, but we had a lot of fun, and it really started to get tough, you know, because we're going into the second night. Fatigue was starting to set in. Sleep deprivation has definitely started to kick in, and it took like 9.5 hours to do that section, but yeah, definitely had a lot of fun. I'm glad that I went out and did it, because yeah, you can definitely feel a spiritual connection to the course out there, and the community and the race directors and everyone sort of reinforced that with how they presented the race, and it was fantastic, and yeah, had so much fun out there. It was great.
So I'm fairly well known for being super prepared going into all my races. You know, there's an Excel spreadsheet where I calculate all the distances, the splits, nutrition. I have a PowerPoint presentation for my crew. Sadly, going into this one, I wasn't as well prepared as I'd hoped. I didn't spend nearly enough time sort of researching the trail, sort of reading race reports and reports from hikers. It was just I was busy with work, so wasn't able to get around to that. I think what made up for that was having an experienced crew. So having Rowan and Tom, both great runners who'd sort of run, both of them have run more than 200 kilometers in a race. And then John, who's a fantastic miler runner. But John and I have been training since I started doing ultras, and he can preempt my needs. He knows me as a runner, he knows me as a person. And so having John sort of taking a lead on the crew there absolutely made up for my slightly worse than anticipated preparation.
Well, Nick's a dear friend of mine, so I love crewing for Nick. And a special thing about crewing for Nick is he normally wins or he's on the podium, and it brings an extra buzz around being part of a successful crew. And with Nick, the team is very important. So it's just being part of a winning team is nice, and it's and I love crewing. I love participating. I love crewing. These events are great. You meet new people. You make connections that are there forever. And the crew we had this weekend, with Tom Day that we picked up along the way on the Alpine Challenge. And we've got Rowan now, so who knows? We met Rowan on Guzzler, so we'll meet him again this year, hopefully.
So yeah, jumped in from the Simpsons Gap to the finish, was about 25 k's left. When I caught up with Nick, it was about 1 in the morning. Nick was in a pretty dark headspace, he was struggling quite a bit, but I was just trying to get him, uplift him a bit and push him, keep moving forward, and he kind of started to pick up. He started to see the finish line there and ended up moving pretty well towards that finish line. And just sharing that part of the course, some steep ridge lines finishing off, and just going strong, digging deep, hurting, but pushing, and then we got to the end and saw John and Rowan finishing at the end there and running home together and finishing as a group, and it's pretty amazing really just kind of see after that epic journey finishing off on that leg.
Flagship event is an incredibly tough endurance event. It takes a huge amount of commitment, dedication, grit, determination to get through it. If you get to the start line of that event, you've already done a significant amount of trail running because the prerequisites call for it. So it's just an effort in itself, just getting all the way to the start line.
Yes. 1.7 k's to go, Nick.
Right, everyone, where it's the whole lot. Okay, and then first place in the male 231 kilometre Akistica Thunder Monster in a time of 46 hours, 57 minutes. Oliver. Nick Bamford.
I told you we'd give it back to you. Well done, mate. Well done.
Right, first and second place in the Monster. I'll get both of these guys to have a quick chat in a minute. That is an epic effort by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, that's chilly. Oh shit. Hang on. Hey? Yeah, I'm just lifting up my phone now. Oh, that's like ice. That is so good. I was like waiting to step in a big hole. I think we got to go over here. It looks pretty deep over there. It might not be. Ah! Still works. It's seriously slippery.
Fuck! Oh, shit. Thank you.
Oh.
Do I have a hat on?